The stars shone bright against the darkness of space as the Federation scout ship glided silently through the void. Inside the sleek vessel, Commander Zrel, a tall blue-skinned alien with 4 arms, studied the unusual energy readings coming from a small yellow star system at the edge of the unexplored sector. "Ambassador Zorlax should see this," Zrel said, his large oval eyes blinking rapidly. "These energy patterns don't match any known civilization in our database." The Galactic Federation had existed for over 50,000 years. In that time, dozens of alien species had joined together in peaceful cooperation, sharing knowledge and resources across thousands of star systems. Most species took millennia to develop the technology needed for interstellar travel. The Federation's policy was simple: observe developing civilizations from afar until they achieve faster-than-light travel on their own. Ambassador Zorlax, the Federation's most experienced diplomat, entered the bridge. Her translucent skin shimmered with patterns of light that expressed her curiosity. "What have you found, Commander?" she asked, her voice gentle and melodic. "A developing civilization, but their progress is unusual," Zrel replied. "They've, gone from primitive radio signals to fusion power in less than 200 years. The speed of advancement doesn't match any known pattern." Zorlax floated to the viewing screen, her eyes widening. "Prepare a diplomatic vessel. I will lead this mission myself." 3 days later, the Federation ship approached the edge of the solar system. They observed with growing amazement as they detected outposts on multiple planets and moons: Mars, Venus, Europa, Titan, all bearing signs of the same civilization. "They're spreading throughout their entire system," said Science Officer Pellner, her feathered crest rising in surprise. "Most species focus on perfecting their home world before expanding." Ambassador Zorlax made her decision. "It's time for contact. Send the universal greeting signal toward their home planet." On Earth, at the Space Defense Command Center in Houston, alarms blared as computers detected an artificial signal coming from beyond Neptune's orbit. Captain John Miller was in the middle of his lunch when the call came through. A tall man with short brown hair and steady eyes, he had been chosen to lead humanity's first contact protocol if aliens ever appeared. For years, people had joked about his position. Today, those jokes ended. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission in multiple mathematical sequences. It appears to be a greeting," said Communications Officer Sam Wilson, his voice shaking slightly. John set down his sandwich and took a deep breath. "Alert the President and the United Nations. Activate the first contact response team. And Sam, try not to look so scared. We've been preparing for this day." Within hours, leaders from around the world gathered virtually as scientists decoded the alien message. It contained simple mathematical formulas, diagrams of atomic structures, and finally, images of different alien species standing together. "They're showing us they're a group, not just one species," explained Dr. Nancy Green, Earth's leading xenolinguist. "And they're requesting a face-to-face meeting at the edge of our solar system." After 3 days of intense debate, Earth's nations agreed to send a delegation. Captain John Miller would command the Dauntless, Earth's newest and fastest spaceship, carrying scientists, diplomats, and a small security team. As the Dauntless departed Earth orbit, John stood on the bridge looking at the blue planet growing smaller behind them. "Nervous, Captain?" asked Dr. Green, who stood beside him. "A little," John admitted. "Thousands of years of wondering if we're alone in the universe, and we're the ones who get to find out the answer." The journey to the meeting point took 2 weeks. When they arrived, the crew gasped at the sight of the Federation vessel. It was massive, at least 5 times larger than the Dauntless, with a design unlike anything humans had imagined. Organic curves and materials that seemed to glow from within. "They could destroy us without effort," whispered Security Chief Frank Adams. "If they wanted to destroy us, they wouldn't have sent a greeting," John replied. "Open a channel." The main screen flickered to life, showing a being unlike any on Earth. Ambassador Zorlax's translucent skin revealed shadowy organs beneath, while patterns of light danced across her surface. Her eyes, 3 of them studied the humans with equal curiosity. "Greetings, people of Earth," she said, her words translated by computers on both sides. "I am Ambassador Zorlax of the Galactic Federation, a union of peaceful species. We have observed your rapid development with great interest." John stepped forward. "I am Captain John Miller of Earth Space Command. On behalf of humanity, we welcome you and hope for peaceful exchange between our civilizations." Over the next few days, the 2 ships remained in position while their crews carefully shared information. The humans learned that the Federation included 37 different species from across the galaxy, each with their own unique biology and culture, but united by a commitment to knowledge and peace. The Federation representatives, meanwhile, were both impressed and concerned by what they learned about humans. "Your species has advanced from simple tools to space travel in less than 10,000 years, Zorlax told John during one meeting. "Most Federation species took 50,000 years or more to reach the same point. And your history contains so much conflict." "We've fought many wars," John acknowledged, "but we've learned from them too. Each generation of humans tries to build a better world than the one before." Science Officer Pellner studied the human biological data with fascination. "Your bodies repair damage quickly. You can survive extreme temperature ranges, and your brains form new connections rapidly when faced with challenges. We call it adaptation," Dr. Green explained. "Humans are good at it." When the initial exchanges were complete, Ambassador Zorlax prepared to return to the Federation Council with her report. "You are a young species with much potential," she told the human delegation. "The Council will need to discuss what we have learned before formal relations can begin." "And what will you tell them about us?" John asked. Zorlax's skin flashed with patterns that the translation software couldn't interpret. Finally, she spoke. "I will tell them that humans are unlike any species we have encountered. You are fierce yet compassionate, divided yet united, fragile yet resilient. You reach for the stars while still fighting wars on your own planet." She paused. "Some council members will fear you. Others will be fascinated. All will agree that the arrival of humans will change our galaxy forever." As the Federation ship prepared to depart, John returned to the Dauntless. The crew waited anxiously for his words. "We're not alone," he told them, a smile spreading across his face. "And from what I can tell, we might be the most interesting new neighbors the galaxy has seen in a very long time." Back on Earth, news of the contact spread rapidly. People gathered in homes, schools, and public squares to watch footage of the alien ship. For the first time in human history, all eyes looked to the stars, not with wonder about what might be out there, but with excitement about what was coming next. 3 months passed since the first meeting between humans and the Galactic Federation. During this time, Earth buzzed with excitement and worry. Scientists studied the limited data shared by the aliens. World leaders debated how to present humanity to the galaxy. Regular people looked up at the night sky with new wonder. Then the message arrived. The Federation Council invited a human delegation to visit their central space station. Earth would finally have a chance to join the galactic community. Admiral Lisa Brown stood in front of a mirror, adjusting her uniform. At 55 years old, with steel-gray hair and sharp eyes, she had commanded ships in Earth's space fleet for 20 years. Now she would lead 12 humans to meet aliens from across the galaxy. "Admiral, the shuttle is ready," said her aide, a young officer named Ben Collins. Lisa nodded. "Time to make history." The Earthship Horizon was humanity's newest vessel. Built with technology learned from studying distant stars, it could travel faster than any previous human craft. For this journey, the best scientists, diplomats, and military personnel from around the world had been chosen. Dr. Paula Rivera, Earth's top linguist, joined Lisa on the bridge as the Horizon prepared to depart. "Nervous?" Lisa asked. Paula smiled. "Excited. We've studied languages from every human culture. Now we'll learn how beings with completely different bodies and minds communicate." The Horizon left Earth's solar system following coordinates provided by the Federation. After 2 weeks of travel, they arrived at their destination. The Federation space station was massive. It looked like a giant wheel spinning slowly in space, with ships of various shapes and sizes moving around it. The station was bigger than any city on Earth, with sections built to accommodate different alien environments. "It's beautiful," whispered Kyle Johnson, the youngest crew member. As they approached, a Federation ship guided them to a docking area designed for new visitors. When the airlock opened, Ambassador Zorlax waited to greet them. "Welcome, humans," she said, her translucent skin glowing with patterns. "The Council is eager to meet you." The human delegation followed Zorlax through wide corridors. They passed aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some looked almost like humans, but with different colored skin. Others had multiple limbs, wings, or bodies that seemed made of light or crystal. Many stopped to stare at the humans with curiosity. "How many species are part of the Federation?" Lisa asked. 37 full members and dozens more with partial status, Zorlax explained. "Some joined thousands of years ago. Others are newer, like the Zentari, who developed space travel just 500 years ago." The humans were shown to their quarters, rooms adjusted to match Earth's gravity, air, and temperature. They were given 1 day to rest before meeting. The council. The next morning, Lisa led her team to the Great Council Chamber. Hundreds of representatives sat in rising circles around a central platform. Some needed special tanks of gas to breathe. Others floated in the air without support. An elder alien with gray skin and 6 arms spoke first. "I am High Counselor Wren. For 50,000 years, the Federation has united peaceful spacefaring civilizations. We welcome Earth's representatives and invite you to share your history." For hours, the humans presented information about Earth, its diverse ecosystems, many cultures, and rapid technological development. The aliens listened with great interest but also concern. "Your species went from simple flight to space travel in less than 1 century, said a plant-like alien with leaves instead of hair. "Such rapid advancement is unknown among Federation members." "And your history contains many violent conflicts," added another council member. Lisa stood tall. "Humans have fought wars, yes, but we've also created art, music, and literature. We've developed medicine to cure diseases. We explore because we're curious about the universe." "Curiosity is valuable," agreed Wren, "but it must be balanced with wisdom." The meeting continued for several days. The Federation shared knowledge about sustainable energy, medicine, and environmental protection. The humans shared Earth music, art, and scientific theories. Slowly, understanding grew between the different species. On the 5th day, alarms suddenly blared throughout the station. Council members jumped from their seats as red lights flashed. "We are under attack," announced Wren. "All representatives, return to your quarters immediately." Lisa stepped forward. "We can help? What's happening?" Zorlax's skin darkened with worry. "The Vrexians. They applied to join the Federation last year but were rejected because of their aggressive expansion. Now they attack our stations occasionally." Outside the station, several dark ships with sharp angles fired weapons at the Federation's defensive systems. The station shook as energy blasts hit its shields. "Our defense fleet is responding," said Wren, "but they are scattered across several sectors." Lisa turned to her team. "Get to the Horizon. We'll assist in defense," several council members protested. "Your ship is too small, too primitive," said one. "We'll see about that," Lisa replied firmly. The human crew ran to their ship and prepared for battle. Kyle took the pilot's seat while Dr. Rivera worked with 2 engineers to adjust the ship's systems. "Launching now," Kyle announced as the Horizon detached from the station. Federation representatives watched in surprise as the human ship moved faster than expected, quickly approaching the attackers. The Vrexian vessels, there were 5 of them, turned some of their weapons toward this new threat. "Evasive maneuvers," ordered Lisa. Kyle piloted the ship in unpredictable patterns that confused the Vrexian targeting systems. "Weapons ready," reported Ben from the tactical station. The Horizon fired precise energy blasts at the lead Vrexian ship, targeting its weapon systems. The Federation observers were shocked. The human weapons were more advanced than expected for a species so new to space travel. Two more Vrexian ships moved to surround the Horizon. Instead of retreating, Kyle flew directly at one of them, passing so close that the aliens couldn't fire without hitting their own ship. The human vessel then spun around and disabled the second ship's engines with another series of precise shots. Federation defense ships finally arrived, surrounding the remaining Vrexians. Seeing they were outnumbered, the attackers retreated, jumping away to safety. When the Horizon returned to the station, the council members waited in stunned silence. Admiral Lisa stepped off the ship with her crew. "Thank you for your assistance," said Ren, his voice careful and measured. "Your ship performed ... unexpectedly well." "Humans are full of surprises," Lisa replied with a small smile. Later that evening, Zorlax visited the human quarters. "The council is deeply impressed by your actions today," she said, "but also concerned." "About what?" asked Lisa. "Your technology, your tactics. They are advanced for a species at your development stage." Zorlax's skin flickered with complex patterns. "The council now debates a question. Are humans dangerous allies or dangerous enemies?" Lisa looked directly at the ambassador. "Why not just allies? We fought today to protect your station, to protect life." "That is what I will tell them," Zorlax said. "But prepare yourselves. After today's demonstration, nothing will be the same." The Federation Council debated for a week after the Vrexian attack. Many council members were afraid of humans and their unexpected fighting skills. Others saw the value in having such capable allies. In the end, they reached a compromise. "Hi." Councilor Wren delivered the news to Admiral Lisa Brown and her team. "The Federation offers Earth provisional membership status," he said. His 6 arms moved in formal patterns as he spoke. "This allows limited technology exchange and trade rights. Full membership will be considered after a trial period of 5 Earth years." Lisa accepted the offer with a diplomatic smile, though she knew many Earth leaders would be unhappy with the restrictions. Humans were eager to learn all the Federation's advanced technology, not just selected parts. "We look forward to working together," she said. "As a gesture of cooperation, we propose a scientific exchange program." And so Dr. Alan Parker, Earth's leading expert in alien biology, was selected to stay on the Federation station with a small team of human scientists. In return, representatives from 5 Federation species would visit Earth to learn about human culture and biology. Alan was tall and thin, with kind eyes and a quiet voice that put others at ease. He had studied Earth's animals all his life and now had the chance to learn about life from other worlds. "This laboratory is amazing," he said as Zorlax showed him the research facilities. The walls were made of a clear material stronger than any metal on Earth. Strange equipment hummed softly, studying organisms at the molecular level. "Our medical technology has developed over thousands of years," Zorlax explained. "We can cure most diseases and extend life significantly." "That's exactly what we hope to learn," Alan replied. "On Earth, many people still suffer from illnesses we cannot treat." Over the next few months, Alan and his team made surprising discoveries. They found that humans healed from injuries faster than most Federation species. Humans could also adapt to different environments more quickly. "Your bodies seem designed to survive extreme conditions," said Tlork, a Federation scientist with scaly skin and 4 eyes. "Most species in the Federation evolved on planets with stable climates. Earth has many different environments," Alan explained. "Deserts, jungles, Arctic regions. Humans had to adapt to survive in all of them." The Federation scientists were even more surprised by human psychology. They ran tests measuring responses to stress, pain, and danger. "Your pain tolerance is remarkable," Torque noted. "And you become more focused under stress, not less." "That's how we've survived as a species," Alan said. "When things get difficult, humans push harder." Meanwhile, on Earth, Federation visitors were studying human history and culture. They were troubled by what they found. Your people have fought so many wars, said Zorn, a bird-like alien ambassador, during a meeting with Earth leaders. You developed nuclear weapons and nearly destroyed yourselves. Even now, you have conflicts between nations. We're working to be better, said Governor Diane Hart, head of the Earth Diplomatic Corps. Each generation of humans is more peaceful than the last. We hope so, Zorn replied. Because the Federation has seen species like yours before. This comment caught everyone's attention. Later that day, Diane met privately with Federation archaeologist Milo to learn more. What did Zorn mean about species like ours? She asked, Melo's large eyes blinked slowly. His gray skin wrinkled as he chose his words carefully. Throughout galactic history, we've discovered evidence of civilizations that developed very quickly, like humans. Most of them disappeared. Disappeared? How? Diane asked. We don't know exactly, Milo admitted. Some appear to have destroyed themselves in wars. Others expanded too quickly and ran out of resources. A few simply vanished from the historical record with no explanation. This disturbing news spread among Earth's leaders. Some argued that humans should slow down technological development and follow the Federation's cautious approach. Others believed this proved humans needed to advance even faster to avoid these mysterious fates. As debates continued on Earth, trouble was brewing elsewhere. The Vrexians had not forgotten their defeat at the Federation station. They began attacking isolated human outposts on the edges of the solar system. Each time, they left evidence suggesting the attacks came from Federation species who opposed human membership. After the third such attack, Earth's Security Council held an emergency meeting. These attacks appear to be from Federation members, said General Rick Carter, showing images of damaged Earth stations. I don't believe it, Lisa Brown argued. The Federation values peace above all else. Maybe officially, Rick replied. But we know some Federation species fear us. This could be their way of pushing us out. The situation grew more tense when Federation representatives suggested new restrictions on human expansion. They proposed limits on how many ships humans could build and how far they could travel from Earth. It's for the safety of all species, explained Zorlax during difficult negotiations. Rapid expansion often leads to resource conflicts. Or maybe you're just trying to keep us contained, said Rick angrily. Governor Diane tried to maintain peace. The Federation has existed for 50,000 years. Their caution has kept the galaxy stable. Perhaps we should listen. Stability isn't always progress, Alan Parker pointed out. Humans take risks. That's how we've advanced so quickly. As the debate continued, Federation scientists shared another discovery with Alan. His team had provided DNA samples from various Earth species for study. The Federation analysis revealed something surprising. Your planet has experienced 5 major extinction events, said Plork, showing Alan the data. After each one, life evolved new forms with remarkable speed. Earth itself seems to encourage rapid adaptation. Alan considered this information. So it's not just humans? Our entire planet develops differently than Federation worlds? Exactly, Plork confirmed. Most Federation homeworlds had stable conditions for millions of years. Species evolve slowly, carefully. Earth is chaotic, dangerous. It creates life that must adapt quickly or die. This revelation gave Alan an idea. Perhaps humans and the Federation could balance each other. The Federation offered stability and wisdom from thousands of years of peaceful cooperation. Humans offered innovation and adaptability from their harsh evolutionary history. He brought this idea to a joint meeting of human and Federation leaders. We're different from Federation species, Alan explained. We evolved faster because we had to. But that doesn't make us dangerous. It makes us valuable. We solve problems differently. We see options others might miss. Some Federation representatives nodded in agreement, but others remained skeptical. The debate might have continued for days, but it was interrupted by urgent news. The main Federation communication relay detected an ancient signal activating at the edge of known space. Something dangerous had awakened, something the Federation had hoped was gone forever. The uneasy alliance between humans and the Federation would soon face its greatest test. The ancient signal was coming from a distant area of space where no Federation ships had traveled in thousands of years. High Counselor Wren called an emergency meeting with representatives from all member species, including the humans. Long ago, before the Federation existed, there was a species called the Voth, Wren explained, his voice grave. They were highly advanced, but also very aggressive. They created weapons that could destroy entire planets. The room was silent as Wren continued. Our ancestors defeated the Voth in a terrible war. The few survivors fled to the outer reaches of the galaxy. We thought they were gone forever. And now they're back? Asked Admiral Lisa Brown. The signal matches Vaith technology, confirmed Zorlax. And it's coming from Promra, one of our most populated systems. Promra was home to over 9 billion Federation citizens from 12 different species. It was famous for its beautiful ringed planets and advanced research centers. We're sending ships to investigate, said Wren. We ask that all species contribute to this effort. Earth agreed to send 3 ships, including the Horizon with Commander Susan Rodriguez in charge. Susan was younger than Admiral Lisa, with dark hair always pulled back in a neat bun. She was known for staying calm in dangerous situations. The Federation fleet reached Promra 4 days later. What they found was worse than anyone expected. The Vrexians had found and activated an ancient Voth weapon, a device that created an artificial black hole. It was slowly growing, pulling in matter from the surrounding space. The Vrexians did this? Susan asked in horror as she watched the swirling darkness on her view screen. Yes, confirmed Zorlax from the Federation command ship. We intercepted their communications. They found the Voth weapon and activated it, believing they could control it. Can they? Susan asked. No, the black hole is growing faster than predicted. The Vrexians have already fled the system. Federation scientists calculated that the black hole would consume the entire system within 2 weeks. 9 billion people needed to be evacuated, but the Federation didn't have enough ships to move everyone in time. We can save perhaps 3 billion, said Wren sadly. The rest will be lost. Susan couldn't accept this. There has to be another way, she insisted. She called a meeting with Dr. Alan Parker and the human science team who had been studying Federation technology. The Federation has quantum stabilization technology, Alan explained. It's designed to contain small singularities for energy production. But they've never built one large enough for something like this. Could we? Susan asked. Alan thought for a moment. Maybe we'd need to modify our ships to generate a stabilization field around the black hole. It's extremely risky. The radiation levels would be deadly with prolonged exposure. But it could work? Susan pressed. In theory, yes, Alan replied. But the Federation Council would never approve. They avoid technology that puts lives at risk. Susan made her decision. We're not asking for permission. Contact Earth. We need every ship we can get. Within 24 hours, 37 human ships arrived at Promra. Without waiting for Federation approval, Susan explained her plan to the human captains. We'll form a ring around the black hole and generate a stabilization field, she told. It's dangerous. Some of us won't survive. But we can't let billions die when we might be able to help. The human ships moved into position, ignoring urgent messages from the Federation Council ordering them to stop. As they approached the black hole, the gravitational pull became stronger. Warning alarms blared on every vessel. Activate stabilization. Fields on my mark, Susan commanded. 3, 2, 1, mark. Beams of energy shot from each human ship, connecting to form a glowing web around the black hole. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the black hole's growth began to slow. The Federation watched in amazement. Their scientists had never attempted such a dangerous operation. They monitored the radiation levels around the human ships with growing concern. The humans are receiving lethal radiation doses, reported Twerk to High Counselor Wren. They cannot maintain position for more than a few hours without dying. But the humans had planned for this. As one ship's crew became too weak from radiation, Exposure, another ship would take its place? Hour after hour, the human ships maintained the stabilization field while Federation vessels evacuated as many citizens as possible. After 36 hours, the strain began to show. 7 human ships had suffered critical damage. Their crews refused to abandon their posts, transferring power to the remaining vessels before their systems failed completely. Susan's own ship, the Horizon, was showing signs of breaking apart. The hull groaned under the intense gravitational forces. Warning lights flashed across her control panels. "Captain, we need to pull back," urged her first officer. "The ship can't take much more." "Not yet," Susan replied, her face pale but determined. "Every minute we hold gives the Federation time to save more people." On the Federation command ship, Zorlax watched the human efforts with a mixture of awe and grief. "They're sacrificing themselves," she said quietly. Ren nodded. "I've never seen anything like it. Even when their ships fail, they transfer power to others instead of saving themselves." After 72 hours, the human scientists made a breakthrough. By adjusting the frequency of the stabilization field, they found they could not just contain the black hole but begin to collapse it. "All ships, switch to frequency delta," Susan ordered, her voice weak but commanding. "Full power to stabilization beams." The black hole began to shrink, slowly at first, then faster. The gravitational pull weakened. After 6 more hours of intense effort, the black hole collapsed completely, leaving only empty space where it had been. The cost was high. 17 human ships were destroyed. Thousands of crew members died from radiation exposure or when their vessels broke apart. But billions of Federation citizens had been saved as the surviving human ships limped away from the battle site. Federation vessels surrounded them, offering medical aid and repair assistance. There were no more debates about whether humans were too dangerous or unpredictable. The Federation had seen what humans were willing to sacrifice to save others. In the aftermath, Federation investigators confirmed what some had suspected. The Vrexians had been responsible not only for activating the Voth weapon but also for the earlier attacks on human outposts. They had hoped to drive humans and the Federation apart, making both easier to conquer. Susan Rodriguez survived, though. Doctors said she would never fully recover from the radiation exposure. As she lay in the medical bay of a Federation ship, Zorlax came to visit her. "Why did you do it?" the ambassador asked. "Your people barely know us, yet you sacrifice so much." Susan smiled weakly. "Because it was right," she said simply. "And, because that's what humans do. When others are in danger, we help. It's who we are." Zorlax's skin glowed with new patterns of respect and understanding. "The Federation will not forget what humans have done here," she promised. Everything has changed. 1 month after the Black Hole Crisis, the Federation Council gathered for a special meeting. Representatives from all 37 member species attended, filling the Great Circular Chamber. For the first time in Federation history, every council member wore a small blue ribbon, the color of Earth's oceans, to honor the human lives lost saving Prom era. High Counselor Wren opened the session. "Today we decide the future relationship between the Federation and humanity," he announced. "The events at Promera have shown us much about our new neighbors." Ambassador Zorlax presented the official report. Humans sacrificed 17 ships and over 3,000 lives to save Federation citizens, most of whom they had never met and were not even of their species. This level of selfless action has no precedent in our records. Federation historians confirmed this assessment. "In our 50,000 years of records, no species has ever demonstrated such willingness for self-sacrifice to protect others," said Elder Historian Juvix, his ancient eyes blinking slowly. "Especially not for those outside their own kind." Not all council members were convinced. A representative from the Vola species, known for their cautious nature, spoke next. "Humans still develop technology too quickly. They take risks we would never consider. Their actions at Promera, while heroic, also demonstrate their dangerous unpredictability." "Is unpredictability always dangerous?" asked Flork, the scientist who had worked closely with Dr. Alan Parker. The humans solve the problem we could not because they think differently. They see possibilities we miss. The debate continued for hours. Some Federation species still feared humans' aggressive potential. Others argued that humanity's protective instincts were exactly what the peaceful Federation needed. Eventually, Ren called for silence. For millennia, the Federation has maintained peace through cooperation and caution. We avoid conflicts rather than fight them. We preserve knowledge rather than risk dangerous new discoveries. He paused, looking around the chamber. This approach has served us well, but it has also left us vulnerable to threats like the Vrexians and the Voth weapon. Keith Evans, Earth's newly appointed ambassador to the Federation, listened carefully. A former diplomat with gray hair and kind eyes, he had been chosen to represent humanity during this crucial time. Ambassador Evans, Ren said, please address the Council. Keith stood and walked to the center of the chamber. The people of Earth thank you for this opportunity. We know many of you still have concerns about humans. We understand those concerns. Our history is filled with conflict. We develop technology quickly, sometimes before we fully understand its consequences. He looked around at the alien faces watching him. But humans have another quality that defines. Yes, when we see others in danger, we help. Not because we expect something in return, but because we believe it's right. At Promera, human ships rushed toward danger while others fled because that's who we are. Keith's words resonated with many council members. They had witnessed humans' actions, not just their words. After 3 more days of discussion, the Federation Council reached a historic decision. Ren announced it to the assembled representatives. For 50,000 years, the Federation has maintained peace through diplomacy and cooperation. But we have always lacked something essential: guardians, willing to face danger when peace fails. Ren's 6 arms moved in a formal gesture of respect toward Keith. Today, we create a new position within the Federation, Guardians of the Federation, and invite humanity to be the first to hold this role. A murmur of approval spread through the chamber. The proposal was elegant. Humans would retain their independence and right to expand, but would also take responsibility for Federation defense and emergency response. We offer full Federation membership with all rights and privileges, Ren continued. In return, we ask that humans share their unique perspective and protective capabilities with all peaceful species. Keith accepted the proposal with deep gratitude. Humanity is honored by your trust. We will strive to be worthy of it. When Keith returned to Earth with the Federation's offer, global leaders gathered to discuss it. Some worried about the responsibility. Others saw it as an opportunity for humanity to find its place in the galaxy. This is what humans have always done, argued Governor Diane Hart. We protect those who need protection. We face danger so others don't have to. Now we can do it on a galactic scale. After much debate, Earth voted to accept the role of Federation Guardians. A new fleet of ships would be built, combining human innovation with Federation technology. These vessels would patrol Federation borders and respond to emergencies throughout the galaxy. 6 months later, the first joint human Federation fleet was ready. The flagship, named Unity, was larger than any previous human vessel. It carried crew members from 12 different species. Though the captain and many key officers were human. Captain Maria Wells stood on the bridge during the commissioning ceremony. She was young for such an important command, but had shown exceptional leadership during the Promera crisis. Now she would lead the first Guardian fleet. Captain Wells, are you ready to begin your mission? Asked Admiral Lisa Brown, who had recovered enough to attend the ceremony. Yes, Admiral, Maria replied confidently. The Unity and her crew are prepared to serve. Lisa nodded with pride. Then you have your orders. Protect the innocent. Preserve peace when possible. Defend all sentient life when necessary. The ceremony was broadcast throughout Earth and to all Federation worlds. Billions watched as the new fleet departed Earth orbit, beginning humanity's role as guardians of the galaxy on the Federation Council Station. Ambassador Zorlax stood with Elder Historian Juvix watching the ceremony on a large screen. Do you think we made the right decision? Zorlax asked. Humans are still young as a species. They make mistakes. They act on emotion sometimes instead of logic. Juvix considered her question. In all my centuries studying galactic history, I've learned one truth. The most dangerous threats arise not from emotion but from its absence. The Vrexians attacked Promra without caring about the lives they destroyed. Humans rushed to save those same lives without hesitation. He gestured toward the screen where the unity was visible against the backdrop of stars. In all our millennia, among the stars, we never imagined that the most feared warriors in the galaxy would also be its most compassionate protectors. The arrival of humans has changed everything, for the better. As the Unity engaged its engines and disappeared into the depths of space, a new chapter began for humanity and the Federation. There would be challenges ahead, new threats to face, and difficult decisions to make. But for the first time, the Federation had guardians willing to face those dangers. And humans had found their purpose among the stars, not just to explore but to protect.